You'll find value in the lessons we impart in this video for the duration of your dating and relationship life, so watch with us and concentrate on the topics we'll be covering. Please don't fast forward to the very end to completely comprehend the ideas that will be helpful in a variety of. Have you ever pondered why some women treat certain guys horribly in relationships while chasing others with intensity? You may be misled if you believe that the solution solely depends on one's financial situation or physical appearance. What's the actual deal? Guys who can't get a single date, and lots of rich men who are just there for the money. The truth is that high-value men are adept at ignoring women. It's no secret. High-value males are typically too eager and needy for a woman's attention. On the other hand, know how to neglect women, which agitates them. Women seek attention, so pay close attention. If you ignore a woman, you'll attract her, and you instantly distinguish yourself from most other men when you quit providing it to them. But there's psychology behind. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to ignore ladies in an effective manner. Are you ready? If you're new, let's examine the 8 reasons why high-value males overlook women. Please like and subscribe to the video here. Statistics indicate that just 15% of my audience has subscribed to the channel. So if you feel that this video has been helpful in any way, please hit the notification bell. Let's return to the first topic. Be brave in front of others. Can even consider approaching a woman like a male and then dismissing her, as a woman's root is passivity. Not the man. High-value men grab life by the balls and don't take it easy. You wish for things to occur, keeping in mind that fortune favors. The courageous idea is not new. It has strong roots in antiquated ideologies such as Stoicism, which highlights the significance of acting and meeting obstacles head-on in the Stoic heritage. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, has discussed the importance of bravery and taking action, holding that we shouldn't be afraid of what might happen, but should, on the other hand, welcome the unknown and the opportunity for development that it presents. This idea is quite relevant. In relationships and dating, much as Marcus Aurelius had to shoulder the heavy burdens of governing an empire, means overcoming obstacles in your own life. Persons who respect bravery and decisiveness highly comprehend that people who are willing to take chances in the dating world can reap significant returns. This involves going outside of your comfort zone and confidently approaching ladies. For example, take into consideration the tale of a man who contacted a woman he found despite being afraid of being rejected. His audacity paid off during a social gathering when she replied favorably, resulting in a meaningful exchange relationship. This example shows how taking the initiative can result in pleasant and unexpected consequences. Feel timid around a woman who is waiting for you and fearful of approaching her. Individuals lack confidence. Contemporary research confirms this. According to research from California, guys who behave assertively are more attractive to women since it conveys strength and dependability. These research supports the notion that audacity can greatly improve your chances of dating. Keep in mind that it's best to accept rejection, and this is consistent with the Stoic habit of failing rather than living with the regret of never attempting. Negative visualization, which involves mentally imagining the worst-case situation to lessen anxiety. Knowing that even if things don't work out, you may approach women with composure and strength if you're ready for rejection. Even if things don't go as planned, you can still learn and acquire important experience. Never stop learning from your errors, but you can't go back in time to make up for lost opportunities. Possibilities. Take the example of a man who, after experiencing repeated rejections, using every encounter as a chance to learn, he improved his strategy, boosted his self-esteem, and ultimately had success in his dating life. This, the ability to learn and adapt, is essential in any engagement. Regardless of whether successful or not, it fosters personal development and a brighter future. Results aside from the Stoic philosophy, historical personalities have also proved the value of audacity. Alexander the Great, renowned for his audacity, his strategic intellect never shied away from taking risky measures that resulted in his tremendous success. His capacity to take on obstacles with assurance, and in order to navigate the challenges of dating and relationships, modern men might find inspiration in assertiveness. High-value men don't focus on missed chances or prior mistakes in relationships. Rather, they concentrate on the here and now and what they can do to make things better. This way of thinking is mirrored among the writings of Epicurus, a different well-known Stoic philosopher who highlighted the need of concentrating on the things we can control. By implementing with this viewpoint, you can approach women with a feeling of purpose and tenacity, understanding that you're in line with your principles and objectives in real life. Bravery can also show up in other regions. Outside of dating, like taking the initiative to lead in work, initiatives that present novel concepts or look for fresh prospects can greatly influence the course of your work. The same idea holds true for personal development, and self-improvement is the result of continuously pushing yourself and getting out of your comfort zone. A fearless way of thinking that penetrates every area of your life and ends up being bold is acknowledging that life's uncertainties must be faced head-on with bravery and resiliency. Taking chances even in the face of uncertainty usually results in regret, because potential failure might lead to progress and new opportunities. By emulating the virtues of Stoicism and taking inspiration from past bravery examples, you can change the way you view relationships and dating, making sure you live a life unencumbered by second-hand fear and hesitation. Notice that a lady gets inundated with notifications from social media whenever she picks up her phone. She gets free attention from interested males all the time, which makes her ego grow. Imagine waking up to a barrage of texts and compliments before she's even had a chance to clean her teeth. Every day it makes sense why she feels that the cosmos revolves around her. But this daily affirmation can result in an exaggerated perception of one's own value, as Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, once remarked that all we hear is opinion, not fact. Everything we observe is a viewpoint, not the actual reality. This never-ending assault of attention is not an exact representation of true value. It is only a perspective. A high-value man does not give away his attention carelessly because he knows it is valuable. He may meet a woman and identify himself in an attempt to strike up a conversation, but he then pauses, providing unrestricted attention. This strategy is consistent with the Stoic notion of taking charge of what you can manage and relinquishing control over what you cannot. Continually focusing on her, a man of great value manages his own behaviors and emotions rather than allowing outside approval to control his unique behavior. Another Stoic philosopher points out that the person who yearns for more is what really matters, not the one who has too little. Is it true that needing her attention makes you seem needy when you refuse to give it? Strength. Having made himself known to the woman, he treats her as though she's not unique. This is crucial. The woman will be perplexed by your actions and wonder why you're not pursuing her as other men are. Stoicism is comparable to the discipline of apathy that Epicurus taught us ought to be unaffected by factors beyond our control, such as the beliefs, and, by choosing not to pursue her, you show that you are unaffected by the behavior of others. External confirmation, which enhances your attractiveness and curiosity. Many men find this offer her undivided attention every day. Why doesn't this man follow suit? Why is he? This unique circumstance is similar to the Stoic practice of envisioning the worst example to calm her down. If she questions why she isn't receiving your attention, She begins to doubt her own value and attractiveness, which can be a potent inspiration for her to go out of her way to seek your approval rather than take it at granted. Grab your attention because she finds it difficult to accept that you don't provide her with the typical level of validation, wherein one applies the Stoic idea of amor fati, or embracing one's fate by not providing her with the attention she demands. You educate her to value and recognize what she must strive for instead of what comes naturally. Don't mistake my words. They are a lesson in resiliency and self-worth. We do not advocate playing mind games with ladies while wasting time on video games or other distractions. As Stoics, these games and pastimes take you away from your greater goal. Tell us to put our attention on what matters most and toss aside pointless hobbies. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Stop wasting time debating what a good man ought to be. Rather than engaging in gaming, devote your time to personal development and meaningful pursuits." A high-value guy understands the value of time and that it should be allocated to pursuits that improve his life, such as developing his profession, pursuing hobbies, or spending time with family and friends. He places a high value on social. Focusing on actual life, media likes and comments are ephemeral and superficial. Your accomplishments and development distinguish you from people who are looking for approval. Epicus, the Stoic philosopher, highlighted online that you should first ask yourself what you would be and then take the necessary actions. This kind of thinking promotes a high-value man to use his energy properly. Also, this strategy promotes an air of mystery and epic struggle. Titus noted that it's your response to an event, rather than what actually happens to you, that matters, that your neglect of her turns into something she has to respond to, and how she decides to do so. You can learn a lot about her personality. Basically, you are encouraging her to consider and develop, rather than merely luxuriate in undeserved recognition. A high-value man can also use this technique to weed out people who are just interested in him for himself, than for what he can provide in terms of attention, which guarantees that any bond developed is founded on reciprocity. Genuine connection and regard for social media approbation, that is surface-level true connections, are built via shared ideals and interactions rather than through interactions alone. Circumstances that demand work and attention. The Stoic philosophy instructs us to concentrate on what we can manage and to preserve our integrity by refusing to give in to outside pressure. By paying attention and appreciating our own time, we develop self-control and an enhanced self-awareness, which not only increases our attractiveness, but also guarantees that, as Seneca advised Associate, we are leading lives that are true and filled with meaning. With those who have the potential to elevate you as a high-value man, you not only better yourself, but also raise the bar for everyone around you. Thirdly, high-value guys who embrace the fearless mindset are aware of they don't see women as unreachable, superior creatures, but rather as valuable and self-assured beauties. Perhaps this fearless way of thinking enables individuals to maintain their composure and ease around women, which makes them incredibly alluring. Yet, a lot of, when they are around attractive ladies, males experience anxiety because they lack confidence. And the lack of this high-value perspective, according to a current psychology study, discovered that people regularly rank confidence as one of the most attractive traits in a person. High-value men display this assurance without effort, since they have developed a strong sense of self-worth. Mirrored in the Epicus Stoic philosophy, a Stoic philosopher highlighted the importance of one's own self-perception when he stated, "Be content if you want to improve. To be viewed as ignorant and stupid." This way of thinking promotes accepting vulnerability, and confronting anxieties head-on are crucial in dealing with. The fearless mindset is the secret to charisma for women. See yourself at the pinnacle of your existence, radiating power and assurance with this visualization. Practice is a useful tool based on Stoic practices rather than just a mental trick. Using visualization and introspection. Marcus Aurelius, another Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher who wrote a lot about retaining inner strength and serenity in the face of overcoming obstacles. His writings highlight the influence of thinking on determining in order to cultivate this fearless mentality, encounters and perceptions must first identify, and taking care of your own worth will help you become a better person overall. Participate in physical, mental, and emotional activities that challenging you and aid in your personal development, per studies in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. People who actively work on improving themselves are seen as more appealing and self-assured, which is consistent with Stoic ideals that support lifelong self-improvement as a means of achieving inner peace, self-assurance, and high regard for men. Recognize that confidence is about self-assurance rather than arrogance. Sincerity. They don't require approval from others to feel confident in their value. This way of thinking is similar to the Stoic virtue of wisdom, which entails comprehension, self-aware and behaving in line with one's actual nature, making Seneca a Stoic statesman and philosopher who highlighted the value of self-awareness and self-control in attaining long-lasting prosperity and contentment. When you develop this fearless mentality, you'll inevitably radiate charisma. Charm alone doesn't define charisma. It's the ability to make others feel. Men can become more at ease and appreciated in your presence by practicing. Authentic curiosity and sensitivity for others are traits that Stoic thinkers value. Epicus and Seneca both stressed that Seneca wrote wherever there is a human, and as such, she has the capacity for true kindness. Being empathetic towards others creates a captivating aura that attracts individuals to engage in mindfulness, and maintaining mindfulness when engaging with women is an additional characteristic of the fearless mentality. Stoic behaviors, including high-value men, benefit from writing and mindfulness meditation to be centered and concentrated. By giving each moment your whole attention, you show respect and attentiveness. Two extremely appealing traits that fit with the Stoic philosophy of living in harmony with nature, which entails living in the present moment to the fullest and accepting whatever comes your way with. In conclusion, adopting the fearless mindset entails developing self-assurance in continuously improving oneself and exhibiting sincerity when interacting with women. High-value men are aware that lack of confidence radiates outward and attracts other people. Through sincere empathy and connection, by incorporating Stoic ideals by incorporating self-awareness, resilience and mindfulness into your everyday life, you may cultivate a presence that is both captivating and motivating. Keep in mind that your biggest strength is the fourth stop. Rewarding is the genuineness of your acts and your character. In this section, we examine the Stoic idea of not rewarding undesirable behavior. Bad behavior. That high-value people who comprehend Stoicism understand the significance of avoiding pointless arguments and confrontations that don't advance one's own development. Fostering regard for one another. Stoicism stresses the development of virtues like discernment, bravery, justice, and temperance in the face of persistently unreasonable. It's important to identify behavior that can be upsetting one's peace of mind. And moral balance, for example. If a woman continuously participates in petty disagreements or unreasonable arguments, it could indicate a more serious problem of disrespect or contempt for mutual understanding. Is what Stoic thinkers would encourage putting oneself in a temporary distance to give both sides time to consider what they did and motivations. Rather from being punishing, This brief separation is a strategic pause intended to restore harmony built on respect for one another, and Stoic teachings place a strong emphasis on self-awareness and emotional hardiness, assisting people in keeping their composure and judgment clear. People maintain their dignity and exhibit emotional maturity when they avoid having strong emotional reactions. Maturity. This strategy is consistent with Stoic exercises in moderation and self-control, which are essential to upholding moral behavior in all spheres of life, including relationship. Quiet is a preferred Stoic philosophy tool that is promoted by figures. Similar to Epicus and Marcus, alias can be an effective tool for navigating social disputes. It facilitates reflection and avoids needless escalation. Stoicism urges people to respond carefully and attentively to provocations rather than responding hastily and consciously, taking the long-term effects of their words and deeds into account. Another Stoic principle that applies to addressing situations is establishing and upholding boundaries with consistency and firmness. Undesirable behavior by declining to give negative behavior extra credit or affirmation. People maintain their values and uphold their self-worth. This strategy improves personal integrity and cultivates healthier relationships. Resilience in the face of hardship from a psychological perspective suggests that relationships with mutual respect and good communication have a higher chance to prosper and endure by abiding by the Stoic rules of moral conduct, and individuals who are emotionally stable contribute to the environment favorable to their relationships' development and harmony. In addition to Stoicism provides information about the significance of developing virtues like patience and, when addressing difficult behaviors, empathy enables people to be patient, handle disagreements with a cool-headed, collected attitude that promotes positive converse instead of raising hostilities. Empathy, however, makes it possible to comprehend the underlying causes of someone's behavior, fostering philosophically more sympathetic and efficient responses. Stoicism urges people to concentrate on the things they can control. Own ideas, deeds, and reactions instead of getting too worried. Using outside variables or other people's actions, this viewpoint gives people to retain their moral integrity and mental serenity in spite of external. Under these conditions, the Stoic refusal to reward inappropriate behavior highlights the integrity, emotional fortitude, and polite boundaries are crucial in social connections that place virtue over instant satisfaction, and emotional responses enable people to maintain their dignity and promote more significant relationships, which this philosophical viewpoint enhances personal development and improves appearance by exhibiting fortitude, discernment, and moral rectitude. Number 5 is occupied with the intricacies of human relationships and navigating them. Stoicism is championed by the force of purpose in the field of personal growth. Idea of leading a purposeful and moral life. A high-value guy is an example of this ethos. By devoting himself to important objectives that go beyond transient pleasures, he epitomizes tenacity and focus, focusing his energies on goals that are consistent with his moral principles. And principles, to borrow Marcus Aurelius's phrase, don't waste any more time debating about the qualities of a decent guy. Such a man sets himself apart not by meaningless gestures or flimsy pursuits, but by substantial action. He is aware that pursuing greatness in all facets of life is the path to genuine fulfillment. Not only in interpersonal interactions, but also in one's own development and social contribution, the Stoic philosophy with its logic and self-control are prioritized, which informs his choices and behaviors. Has a purpose in life and makes thoughtful decisions that advance his long-term objectives. His methodical approach distinguishes him from those who give in to fleeting pleasures or outside demands, Rather than pursuing fleeting pleasures or taking part in frivolous pursuits, he directs his focus toward endeavors that leave a legacy. These could include career ambitions, artistic endeavors, or intellectual pursuits that test and encourage him every day by upholding the Stoic principle of concentrating exclusively on what is having complete control over his ideas, deeds, and objectives. He develops an appealing, robust attitude. Others believe that Stoicism emphasizes that financial wealth and outside approval are true contentment is fleeting, and results from becoming moral character is highly valued. Hence, a high-value man puts himself first. He devotes time and resources to maintaining his physical health not just for aesthetic reasons, but also as evidence of self-control and self-preservation. This commitment to keeping his dedication to excellence in all facets of life is reflected in his toned physique. Reflecting the Stoic idea of developing virtue via reason, he highlights the significance of sincerity and integrity in partnerships, qualities that a high-value man lacks. Instead of pursuing hollow ties or shallow flirtations, he values sincere relationships founded on respect and common principles. He is aware that genuine attraction extends beyond physical attractiveness to include emotional resonance and intellectual affinity. In real terms, this idea translates into proactive routines that improve individual attractiveness. In addition to his physical fitness, he develops a multitude of interests and a depth of information that enrich discussions and interact actions. This comprehensive strategy to his commitment to self-improvement makes him an engaging presence in any social or professional setting. Using the idea that seducing a woman is like a calculated, well-equipped arsenal is necessary for endeavor, as his strength is not limited to strength, but in mental acuity, emotional intelligence, and moral integrity, is one of the cornerstones of Stoic virtue. He possesses these attributes by nature, possesses a charm and assurance that go well beyond appearances. Captivating Our channel provides priceless guidance on enhancing your attractiveness, really taking cues from contemporary and timeless Stoic philosophy, perspectives on personal growth. Whether you want to improve your physical health or develop your comprehension of Stoic philosophy, or your interpersonal skills give you useful advice to help you on your path to being a high-value guy, Stoicism inspires people should develop resilience when confronted with adversities as chances for development as opposed to obstacles, which a high-value guy embraces hardship with grace, seeing failures as transient teaching moments. This mentality not only fortifies his character, but also amplifies his appeal as tenacity and over personal growth. Stoicism is a virtue that is generally admired. Optimism highlights the significance of improving other people's lives and society at large. Making him a high-value man understands his duty to have a positive influence, whether by community service, philanthropy, or mentoring. Serving this sense of duty and compassion gives his character more nuance and enhances his connections by reflecting Stoic morality and societal responsibility. Stoic ideas generally enhance a man's beauty and impact in significant ways by placing a high value on virtue, purpose, and perseverance. He not only increases his sense of fulfillment personally, but also arouses respect and admiration from others in his immediate vicinity. Our channel acts as a mentor for guys looking to develop these characteristics and live a purposeful, moral life, pulling from the Stoic philosophy's wisdom to attain long-term prosperity and satisfaction, one of the most well-known instances of Stoic history that demonstrates. The life of Marcus Aurelius is characterized by values of resilience, purpose, and morality. The last of the 5 wise emperors, a Roman philosopher and emperor from 1601 until 180, Marcus Aurelius governed the Roman Empire. He is not well remembered not just for his leadership, but also for his strong adherence to the Stoic philosophy, which he recorded in his personal texts referred to as the Meditations. Marcus Aurelius encountered many difficulties throughout his reign, encompassing border conflicts, political scheming, and the burden of leading a large and varied empire. In spite of these obstacles, he was unwavering in his allegiance to Stoic ideas. He thought that one should rule with duty and virtue, not seeing his position as emperor as a chance for self-glory or authority, but as a serious obligation to support and serve the people. Justice's decisions and deeds were driven by this sense of purpose, which frequently throughout his reign. Marcus prioritized the welfare of the empire and its people over his own interests. Aurelius demonstrated Stoic resilience in the face of hardship, teachings that, despite the sufferings of war and poverty, saw obstacles as chances for moral and personal development. Despite the difficulties of his position, he remained composed and philosophical, embodying the Stoic principles of inner power and composure. Marcus Aurelius was a philosopher, as well as a pragmatist leader, who aimed to establish rational governance and demonstrated his Stoic ideology shaped his style of governance, which placed an emphasis on equity and moderation. With empathy, he sought to establish a fair and peaceful society. In the middle of his musings, during the turbulent periods of his reign, were composed as a series of personal notes, attest to his dedication to Stoic qualities like justice and wisdom. These works have inspired generations with their timeless wisdom on how to live a life of courage and temperance, goal, morality, and tenacity. Marcus Aurelius's life provides as a significant demonstration of Stoic values in action. His dedication to goal resilience in hardship and devotion to virtue not only influenced his rule as Roman emperor, but it left a lasting legacy that still serves as a source of inspiration for many today. This example shows how the timeless framework offered by Stoic philosophy for leading a purposeful moral life in the face of uncertainty and challenge. Number 6 in our investigation is the art of independence. Explore the reasons why self-reliance and independence are essential characteristics for men who want to exemplify true value and strength. High-regard men embrace solitude as a way to grow, not as a way to withdraw from society. Strong instrument for personal development and self-discovery, they understand the value of is independent of outside variables such as one's relationship status or another opinions. Rather, they find contentment internally, exuding a confidence that is born of having a thorough grasp of oneself, and the distinction between needing and wanting men place a great importance on friendship and value deep, lasting relationships, but do not rely on them for approval or happiness. Instead, they look for mates who will enrich their life, and thus, as opposed to addressing apparent deficiencies, this methodical technique makes certain that their bonds are built on respect for one another and common values, and a sincere bond that elevated both those engaged in the study highlights the advantages of independence. Research reveals that people who practice self-sufficiency frequently report more resilience and life satisfaction levels, making them more suited to manage hardship and stress while remaining composed and focused, even during difficult circumstances. This inner resilience not only promotes well-being, but also increases a person's appeal and power in social and professional. Realistic independence entails pursuing one's own interests and passions. High-value men make ongoing investments in their own development, whether it's via education, professional development, or creative endeavors. By fervently and assiduously pursuing their passions, individuals broaden their horizons and improve their lives. Exhibiting a dedication to emotional independence is just as important as growth and quality in everything they do. High-value guys develop their emotional intelligence and self-awareness to comprehend their own feelings and reactions. This self-mastery helps them to communicate and keep appropriate boundaries proficiently and handle interpersonal interactions with honesty and compassion. It also encourages resilience, which enables people to overcome obstacles and keep an optimistic view on life, in addition to independence, enabling men to make decisions in line with their objectives and values, giving authenticity precedence over conformity by selecting components that align with their values instead of caving in to outside forces or, despite cultural expectations, integrity in decision-making is admired and respected. Establishing them as reliable community leaders and influencers in independence in partnerships allows high-value men to assist their partners. While preserving their individuality, they cultivate surroundings that allow for mutual growth. Separately and jointly recognizing and applauding one another's accomplishments and offering mutual support through difficult times, this well-rounded strategy guarantees that partnerships flourish on a basis of respect for one another, trust, and common goals that goes beyond individual satisfaction. Men are more inclined to positively contribute to society when they are independent. Value men understand their part in having a significant influence, whether through advocacy, philanthropy, or mentoring. They actively participate in programs that advance environmental sustainability, social justice, or community well-being. Fundamentally, independence is the ability to show a dedication to creating a positive legacy and motivating others to do the same. Not only about isolation, but also about personal growth and self-discovery. Men develop a strong sense of self by embracing independence, strengthen their bonds, and leave a lasting impression on their communities on this path to becoming strong character traits, such as perseverance, sincerity, and loyalty, define a high-value man. Dedication to one's own and the group's welfare. Therefore, gentlemen embrace the pursuit of self-reliance and the art of independence with passion and purpose. Pursue your passions with tenacity and cultivate connections based on reciprocal respect and common ideals by doing so. You inspire everyone around you with your positive energy and not only improve your own life. Strength of character and steadfast dedication to leading a real life. This is the route to maturing into a high-value man who guides with honesty and inspires others to do the same. The same number 7 values clarity and directness. High-value men recognize this. When communicating with women, it's important to be clear in both your speech and your body language. Forthright about your goals and anticipations. Studies show that clear communication helps to strengthen relationships and minimize misunderstandings. Smith 2020. Steer clear of generalizations. Women value men who are truthful and forthright about their emotions and aspirations. Research demonstrates that early communication in a partnership increases pleasure and trust. Jones and Brown, 2019. Excessive use of emoticons or too informal wording in texts can make you seem indecisive or immature. Garcia, 2021. Honesty is crucial for high-value guys. Maintain their authenticity while boldly expressing their manly energy. This calls for assertiveness. Hill 2022 experts advise guys who are not afraid to take risks and stick to their decisions. Partners Roberts and Lee are thought to be more attractive and trustworthy when they are concise and direct. 2018 they steer clear of pointless chit-chat and concentrate on deep talks that strengthen their ties with women. Clark 2023. This strategy demonstrates respect for when both parties take the effort to show that they genuinely want to get to know one another and accept rejection with grace. Another characteristic of high-value males is that, according to study, individuals who can handle rejection typically have more long-term, fruitful partnerships. Smith et al. 2020. By moving past these denials, when presented with more compatible prospects, Men liberate themselves to pursue high-value guys engage in manipulative behavior by ignoring or removing themselves from others. Sends a strong message about limits and self-respect when they distance themselves from manipulative people. Anderson and Martinez, 2019. This conduct supports the notion that wholesome partnerships are predicated on mutual regard and sincere love, as evidenced by data showing how many people spend months or even years in ultimately harmful or unsatisfying relationships. John and high-value guys in 2021 are picky when it comes to partners, concentrating on compatibility and similar ideals to guarantee lasting happiness. Finding the correct spouse is essential for a fulfilling relationship. Research repeatedly demonstrates that shared beliefs and successful relationships depend on efficient communication. Adams and White high-value guys in 2017 are aware of this and make time and effort to invest it. Thus, to sum up, adopting clear and straightforward communication isn't merely concerning dating tactics. It's about creating deep bonds based on integrity and decency by being transparent about their goals, staying away from games, and men who place a high value on their time set an example for healthy relationship dynamics. This method fosters personal development, while simultaneously enhances the satisfaction of romantic relationships. Number 8 stays the same. Your intentions for her high-value men are aware that time is a mirror of their priorities and self-worth. They live lives with a purpose, making decisions about everything from job obligations to personal interactions are a conscious decision in line with their principles, and ideally, the idea of time scarcity emphasizes how finite our psychologically. The most important resource are those who view their time as more inclined to give priority to pursuits that fulfill them. They significantly contribute to their own development. This way of thinking strikes a chord. Employing the Stoic philosophy, which stresses concentrating on what one can control. Taking into account the distribution of time and effort, think about Marcus's story. Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Aurelius was renowned for his methodical approach to, despite the responsibilities of his job, Aurelius maintained his integrity and leadership, highlighted the need of leading a balanced life in which responsibilities to the state were amiably interwoven with periods of introspection and personal development. His illustration emphasizes the timeless lesson of setting priorities. Commitments chosen for their compatibility with one's long-term values. According to research, people who set boundaries for their time are viewed as more appealing and attractive partners. This impression results from the innate self-assurance and certainty that come with living a full life, one in which one's interests and professional endeavors live peacefully. In addition to the idea, emphasizes the need of developing a strong sense of self apart from romantic relationships. High-value men in relationships are aware that their contentment and satisfaction come from a variety of sources. Affirmation, but from a feeling of inner fulfillment and purpose brought about by caring their own goals and interests. They exhibit fortitude and moral rectitude. Attributes that truly connect with potential partners looking for sincere relationships in a modern society with electronic distractions and continuous connectivity frequently makes it difficult to distinguish between work and play. Setting priorities wisely becomes even more important when high-value guys deal with this. Grace realized that making time for the scenery was important. Their general well-being is improved by meaningful interactions and personal development. Satisfaction, in addition, the idea of an individual's unique brand goes beyond one's honesty and constancy in their professional life, as well as their reputation interpersonal relationships, by keeping their word and being punctual. High-value men present themselves as trustworthy and morally upright people, attributes that engender respect and trust in others. A moving comparison literature compares life to a tapestry made of strands of time and experiential knowledge, where each strand stands for a decision taken, a promise kept, or a partnership fostered by incorporating these components. When thoughtful, highly valued men come together, they weave a tapestry that represents not only their accomplishments, but also their morals and integrity at the end. The setting priorities for one's time and responsibilities reveals a deeply ingrained respect for oneself, and others conveys an awareness that connections, while significant, should value one's time as a means of enhancing rather than decreasing one's sense of fulfillment and purpose. Men who are high-value resources, who encourage others around them to do the same, establishing, in summary, a climate of reciprocal respect and individual development, accepting the Stoic philosophy's tenets, which include emotional fortitude and self-control, gives high-value men the ability to follow their commitments and handle life's challenges with grace and purpose. And setting aside time, they develop deep relationships and achieve long-term success on both a personal and professional level. While on the job, they embody the timeless wisdom of leading a genuine life. Bravely, where every second spent adds to a life well lived, and they imagine the burden of becoming the most powerful person, a legacy worth honoring. Controlling millions of people worldwide and having the power to influence events as you see appropriate, yet this authority coexists with ongoing threats of war that endanger peace, plagues that decimate populations, and betrayals that confidence, and a plethora of rejections that tack to both personal and professional life. Marcus Aurelius struggled with these issues on a daily basis, demonstrating the difficulties of leadership and the ongoing resilience is necessary. In this video, we see at how Marcus Aurelius' Stoicism, a philosophy of inner clarity and strength, is a powerful remedy for the challenges he encountered. Before we go farther, and I invite you to share your experiences in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share YouTube channel for more thought-provoking material. And now, let's carry on our investigation with a new viewpoint, negotiating the emotional terrain. When someone disregards, it can feel like you're treading carefully, but you have to accept someone's lack of interest. To decide how you should respond weakens your own resolve and sense of value. Convert rejection into a chance for personal development and empowerment by first thinking about disregarding her in response. If she feels ignored, she will not immediately. Reaction is a potent tactic. Yet this method isn't about dismissing the situation, but instead concentrating on your own development and emotional use. This opportunity to further explore your own self-discovery, placing special emphasis on patience and wisdom over anger and irritation by adhering to your principles and preserving emotional independence, you take back control of your own. You are the dramatist in the great story of life. Create your own tale. With grace, fortitude, and discernment, let this to be a stepping stone. Secondly, reroute toward a more stoic and empowered version of yourself, your attention from the person who doesn't care about you to your own goals and ambitions. Make a list of your objectives, work actively to achieve them, and try different interests inspire you to work on projects and treasure time spent with pals. A family that values personal growth and introspection fosters a thirdly. Having an optimistic outlook gradually lessens the negative effects of other people's apathy on your well-being. Keep your emotions in check. Stoicism emphasizes the value of emotional resilience in the face of difficulty, as opposed to impulsive responses to being neglected. Develop self-awareness and react with grace and respect. Encourage a calm attitude in the face of uncertainty, by emulating the Stoic attribute of preserving inner tranquility in the face of external challenges. Approach contacts with benevolence and comprehension, showing civility without anticipating. Reciprocity, proving your intrinsic worth, is an additional powerful reaction to being disregarded. Instead of focusing on obtaining approval from others, exhibiting character traits as honesty, generosity, and modesty. During deep discussions, freely impart knowledge and listen intently to others by demonstrating your strengths in line with Stoic ideals. You represent personal development and sincere regard for others in your vicinity, but also questioning presumptions. The reasons behind being disregarded demonstrate your defiance through your actions, expectations, and go beyond snap decisions, if thought to be deficient in. Some traits boldly convey your expertise or highlight your creativity, moves the emphasis from looking for approval from others to accepting oneself. Confidence and ongoing self-improvement focus attention on one's own development and improves resilience and strengthens against the effects of apathy from a Stoic standpoint. Enhancing one's social standing is more than just seeking outward approval. Rather, it's a journey of self-improvement and community service. Participate in activities that encourage development in areas like physical fitness and pursuing new interests. Professional talents, volunteering, and networking with like-minded people's sincerity in sharing their stories cultivates real bonds. Last but not least, take into consideration the choice of removing oneself from the company of those who consistently reject your attempts, and breaking off communication when challenging may be essential to put your mental health and personal development first. Put an end to communication via different channels and shift your attention to wholesome pursuits that enhance your life. Upholding boundaries encourages regard for oneself and upholds the Stoic ideal of concentrating on what is within you. Take charge of your behavior and reactions by embracing these concepts. Principles. You give yourself the ability to handle being neglected with grace, and resiliency in any situation becomes a chance for self-reflection, development, and adherence to Stoic principles of discernment, bravery, and mental fortitude. By adhering to these values, you develop a strong foundation of genuineness and inner serenity that transcends criticism from others, and demonstrating your value via development and self-control in circumstances where, when communication is received with silence, Stoic principles-based strategy and composure are needed. When calls go unanswered, it's important to stop trying to reach out to the person after taking this first move. Sets the standard for self-respect and boundary observance in shared social circles. Assume a casual demeanor, acting as if there is no interaction at all. Register, instead of concentrating on interacting with others in a constructive and unaffected approach to social occasions. Focus your emphasis on engaging in dialogue with other people, staying out of direct contact with someone who ignores you if situations call for communication. Maintain a professional tone and guide. Stay away from sensitive subjects that could cause arguments or expose personal irritation. Excessive neediness is unproductive. Thus, Stoicism suggests staying calm within and carrying on in your regular tasks without interfering. By exhibiting steadfast calm and confidence, you exude that other people's perspectives don't affect your. This strategy not only promotes emotional resilience, but also a feeling of self-worth, shows a dedication to the Stoic principles of strength and integrity in interpersonal relationships, exchanges highlighting courteous and deferential behavior without hostility or conflict, further emphasizes your dedication to confidence and internal stability. Resist the need to look for, when confronted with apathy, seek affirmation rather than begging for attention. Stoicism is discouraged when it comes to fostering emotional independence and personal fulfillment. Strategies intended to make people feel as though they are absent or using disparaging remarks, on the other hand, preserve respect and dignity by projecting assurance and self-sufficiency, find satisfaction in their own pursuits and sincere relationships. that support your ideals and encourage independence and self-determination. When you feel unappreciated, embrace the chance to improve your life through pleasurable pursuits and personal development, whether it's through immersion engaging in a favorite pastime, discovering new hobbies, or spending time with loved ones. Prioritize positive and affirming encounters with encouraging friends. Worth by partaking in joyful and fulfilling pursuits, you change. Turn your attention from external dynamics to your own development and well-being. Proactive action strengthens Stoic behavior while also boosting resilience. Concepts of choosing the quiet path and concentrating on what you can control. Receiving treatment in response to being disregarded might demonstrate self-worth, and Stoicism encourages the use of silence as a technique of manipulation, whilst assertiveness encourages the opposite. Use this chance to reflect on yourself and learn how to control your emotions. Thoughtfully consider your feelings and ideas to make sure your answer is in line with your values and personal virtues. This strategy fosters inner serenity and stability while exhibiting honesty and self-control in managing interpersonal dynamics when exhibiting kindness but remaining indifferent. Maintaining emotional distance is crucial to preventing personalization of the circumstance. Approaching interactions instead than burdening others with emotional reactions, displaying kindness and warmth while sending kind words or well wishes without anticipating reciprocation. By living up to the Stoic ideals of controlling just what you can, such your behavior and reactions, you cultivate emotional fortitude and maturity. This thoughtful method not only maintains your dignity while fostering genuine relationships built on respect and understanding. Keep in mind that following these guidelines will improve your appearance as well as create a happy life. Adopt high standards and a lifelong learning mindset. Keep an eye out for our forthcoming impactful videos and subscribe to our channel for other perspectives on Stoicism and comprehension. Take care, feminine nature, and I'll see you in the future film.